Now, Afghan President Hamid Karzai has warned that he recently signed a strategic pact with the US, and that pact is at risk of becoming meaningless if the people do not feel safe in his country. This comes after reports that 4 airstrikes in recent days carried out by international forces left dozens of civilians dead. Let's get some more analysis on the situation from Ahmed Quraishi, the president of the lobbying group PakNationalists Forum. Good to see you on RT today. Just a week after Obama visited Afghanistan, confirming his future commitment to the country, here we have yet more news of civilian deaths at the hand of the US military. Just how strong do you think this partnership really is?
Well, I think President Karzai will have to learn the hard way that he cannot trust commitments by the U.S. military and the CIA. And before we talk about President Karzai, let's talk about someone else in Kabul who is complaining but quietly about the latest attacks that killed Afghan civilians. I'm talking about American diplomats who actually negotiated the Strategic Partnership Agreement and the Memorandum of Understanding last week that enabled, of course, Obama to say that he's moving forward in Afghanistan. Now, the American diplomats in Kabul basically are complaining quietly that the CIA and the U.S. military, by taking actions such as the ones that kill Afghan civilians, are undermining their entire body of work, very hard work over several months that led to the partnership agreement. And this is having a ripple effect all over here in Islamabad. And today we have the news that the American ambassador here in Pakistan is actually cutting short his assignment here and going back to Washington, because basically the American diplomats here too are complaining that the U.S. military and the CIA are out of control. They do the hard work, they try to work with the Afghan government, with the Pakistani government, but then comes the U.S. military and the CIA, and they destroy everything. So basically what you're seeing happening right now in Kabul is that President Karzai is in the same position as the U.S. State Department and U.S. diplomats are in Kabul, and which is basically they cannot trust the U.S. military, they cannot trust the CIA.
So I'm sorry, if I can just understand this, because I mean I work in the news business, but this is certainly a multi-dimensional aspect that you're bringing on here. You're blaming, or they're blaming, these Americans who are working in Afghanistan. They're blaming the military and the CIA. I was under the impression that the most recent deaths and the most recent trouble were due to unilateral drone strikes, but you're saying it's a much bigger equation than just that.
Absolutely. You have to understand one thing. NATO probably has not much to do with these civilian Afghan deaths. It is the U.S. military and it is the CIA that is running the drones program. And basically actions by the U.S. military and the CIA drags the entire NATO and also the American diplomats and their allied Afghan government into trouble with the Afghan people. So basically the main problem, the major problem in Afghanistan, and also in Pakistan, by the way, is the U.S. military and the CIA. They're out of control. I mean, today when you have somebody as senior as the American ambassador to Pakistan, basically relinquishing his assignment, and he's not the first, by the way, he's probably the 4th or the 5th senior diplomat over the past 10 years, since 2002, to cut short his assignment and go basically...
All right. So a U.S. diplomat cuts short his work in Afghanistan, but it was just about a week ago we had the American president there congratulating his troops on a job well done, saying that they're in the process of having peace talks with Taliban, although they're also targeting the Taliban. Is that just political rhetoric? I thought America was winning the war on terror.
Absolutely not. I think the Americans are facing an embarrassing defeat in Afghanistan, and you see the civilian deaths right now that you're seeing in Afghanistan are one sign of the desperation. They are unable to differentiate between ordinary Afghan civilians and hardcore militants, and they're using all-out disproportionate force, really, to get out at what they see as Afghan resistance or Afghan fighters. So basically, these are really signs of defeat, and I think this problem is going to be exacerbated over the next few months. And President Karzai, as I said at the start, will learn the hard way that he cannot really work with or trust commitments that the U.S. military and the CIA entered to.
All right, Ahmed Quraishi, the president of the PakNationalists Forum, Pakistan's first political lobbying group. Thank you for joining us on RT today.